food, shelter, education. And siguro, gusto ko rin idagdag is yung pag-hone ng talent ng mga anak natin. Those are our basic na responsibility. And I think ang isa sa pinakamagandang responsibility na kailangan nating iset for ourselves as parents is to not to be a financial burden sa ating mga anak when they grow old. Hey! This is Kuya Jay, and welcome to the latest episode of Pera and Purpose Podcast, a show about money and meaning. My aim is for you to use money as a tool to live a meaningful life. Yes, and welcome sa ating final episode for the year. And alam ko, nagbakasyon ako for December. And sinadya ko yun kasi nga, kailangan ko magpahinga. Medyo marami tayong ginawa for the year and I needed to take some break para makapag-plan for next year. Medyo confused nga ako if this is going to be for the last week of the year or should I be focusing on the first week of next year. So, yun yung time of that year na hindi mo alam kung saan ka ba magpo-focus, right? Pero itong episode na to is mainly about parang report. it's more of a report kung ano ba yung na-accomplish natin for this year, ano yung mga ups, downs, and also the things na we need to do to improve for next year. For sure, i-share ko sa inyo yung mga life lessons na natutunan ko this year na baka kahit paano makatulong din sa inyo. So for the longest time, I think since 2018, start akong magkaroon ng theme of the year. And sobrang laking tulong niya sa akin. Siguro I'll talk about this sa start of the year for 2024 about the importance of having a theme of the year. And this year, ang aking theme is Kairos. Okay, so Kairos is a Greek word and siya yung opposite ng Chronos. So to simplify what the difference is, yung Chronos is more about dun sa oras na lumilipas, yung minutes, hours, seconds. Dun siya nakafocus. While si Kairos naman is yung bagay na ginagawa mo habang lumilipas yung oras na yon. So, Kairos is about the moments, not the minutes. And the reason bakit ito napili kong theme nitong year na to is because na-realize ko na there's no such thing as time management talaga eh. You cannot manage time kasi gumagalaw lang siya continuously. Pero what you can manage is yourself. And doon ko na-realize na okay, yun pala yung Kairos. So the entire year, doon ako nakafocus. Regardless kung ano ginagawa ko, inisip ko, am I investing, not spending, am I investing my second, my day, my minute, or my life sa isang task na aligned sa aking purpose, aligned sa gusto kong mangyari sa aking buhay. And because of that, ang dami kong na-trim na mga excess activities na I thought was really meaningful to me. And malaking tulong din siya dahil nabawasan ng clutter ang buhay ko. Lalo sa mga tao na kapalibot sa akin. Na I trimmed down the people that I spend time with. And also, yung results, talagang tremendous. Ang dami ko nagawa. And I can say na 2023 has been my best and most productive year yet. Grabe, di ba? Yun yung ko doon. Yun yung na-realize ko habang ginagawa ko tong year-end review ko. And to start with some of the highlights of the year, number one is of course itong podcast na to. Ang podcast natin was featured in Esquire. Oo, sa Pinas. And ito yung time na I think nakabakasyon kami ni Mrs. sa Pinas. And nagulat ako, may nag-message sa akin na na-feature nga tayo as top 10 na personal finance content creators by Esquire. And at the same week, na-reach natin yung pagiging top 200 podcasts in the Philippines. Diba? After 3 years of making this podcast, doon lang natin na-reach yung top 200. Diba? And one of the key highlights ng podcast natin this year is yung, ewan ko kung nag-check kayo ng Spotify Wrap, pero mas lumaki ang in terms of listeners, streams, and followers netong podcast na to this year. Ironically, hindi ako nag-produce ng mas maraming content compared to sa mga previous years. Instead of doing it once a week, nag-produce lang ako ng content every twice a month. Di ba? Mas mababa yung production, pero mas dumami yung listeners. Nakagulat, no? Ito, yung numbers. 60% na additional listeners. 59% additional streams. 74% sa followers. And pagdating sa top fans natin, meron tayong 523. So, ibig sabihin, 523 people na palagi nakikinig ng podcast. And I'm so thankful for you guys, by the way. Sana nga talaga nakukuha ko yung contact details nyo and I can call you or message you directly, personally. If isa ka sa top fans ng podcast na to, please reach out to me and gusto ko malaman kung ano pa yung gusto ninyong mapakinggan. Kasi I just wanna focus on you guys. Okay, so there's 523 of you. And then meron tayong 2,000 na top 5 fans ng podcast na to. And we have 3.1 thousand na top 10 sa kanilang listahan ng podcast. So, kayo ang reason kung bakit ginagawa ko pa rin ng podcast na to. Oo. Although, ang dami ko pa rin talagang gawin and ayokong mawala ang Pera and Purpose Podcast and kayo ang nag-fuel netong mga episodes na ginagawa ko. Kaya if there's anything na gusto niyo pa mapakinggan, alam ko na I think nagawa ko na lahat ng possible na content na relevant sa mga situations ng mga overseas Filipinos and even Filipinos alike na nakabase sa Philippines. Pero gusto ko pa rin siyang ituloy. Okay? So, sabihan niyo lang ako and i-message niyo ako kung ano yung maganda pang gawin na episodes for next year. And I'll do an episode based on your suggestions. So mag-join kayo dun sa Pera and Purpose community para dun ko makita kung ano ang inyong preferred na episodes. Okay? So in terms of skills and personal development naman, this year, I learned how to use AI. Ang laking tulong ng AI sa akin. In terms of side hustles and in terms of producing more content. Nakagawa ko ng newsletters, nakagawa ko ng mga episodes ng podcast, and also yung mga other contents na ginagawa ko online. Lalo yung everyday na posting ko sa social media. Ay, grabe. Thank you talaga. Thank God for ChatGPT. Nakatulong siya sa akin ng bonggang-bongga, lalo na sa pagpuproduce ng mga ganong content. And isa ito sa pinaka-important skills na kailangan nating matutunan, guys. AI is not gonna replace you, okay? But you'll be replaced by people who use AI. And may mga naririnig ako na sabi nila, kinuha ng AI yung trabaho ko. AI took my job. Diba? Pero there are those people na they are saying that AI took my job to the next level, which is dapat na mindset natin, right? And if you're not going to learn how to use the skill, then you're gonna be left behind and pwedeng maging extinct ka sa inyong industry. So AI is something na kailangan mo talagang aralin kung gusto mo pang mag-grow ang iyong income and ang inyong skill set as a modern day worker. O AI is gonna be part of our lives, whether you like it or not. And also sumunod na important skills na natutunan ko is yung project management. Kasi this year, since naka-align ako dun sa theme ko, which is yung Kairos, I really have to make sure na ang bawat ginagawa ko is in line dun sa isang project na kailangan ko ma-execute. So marami tayong naging side hustles this year. Like, I even tried doing yung mga events na never ko pang na-try gawin. And I will say, hindi ko na ulitin ang pag-i-events. Pero it's a good experience. Sobrang ganda experience. Dami ko natutunan in terms of providing services sa mga companies who need event services. And also, in terms of yung mga side projects ko sa work, ayan, malaking tulong siya kasi nga hindi ko na kailangang ulit-ulitin yung mga repetitive na tasks. Kung merong isang process na nagawa ko na before, tinetemplatize ko siya para the next time na gagawin ko siya, madali na lang. Hindi ako mag-start from scratch. And nakatulong ang paggamit ng Notion sa akin. I've been using Notion for the last 2 years na. And ito yung ginagamit ko until today. Okay? Pagka may bago kong natutunan from a book that I've read, ginagawa ko siyang template and ina-add ko siya sa aking personal system. So, project management, gandang skill set yan if you are going to start your own business dahil eventually there will be multiple projects na kailangan mong i-handle and dapat versatile ka. And as much as possible, malimit mo ang mga repetitive admin tasks by putting up systems, processes, and other important steps sa iyong business. So, yan yung isa sa mga magandang skills natutunan ko. And because of that, okay, yung main job ko as a business setup consultant dito sa UAE right now, I can finish it in 4 hours. Most of the time, hindi all the time. Kasi there will be times na talagang marami kaming ginagawa. So sometimes, it will reach up to 6 hours. Pero cap ko na yung 6 hours. Kasi gusto ko i-limit ang aking working time in preparation for next year. Para mas marami pa akong magawa along the way. So, alam mo yun, sobrang intentional ko na sa oras this year. And also, nagkaroon din ako ng certification na tinapos, which is yung NFEC sa US ito. It's a Certified Financial Educator na certificate. And ang dami kong natutunan na ginamit ko for my presentations and also for my coaching practice. So, yan yung ilan sa mga important skills na natutunan natin this year. And some side hustles, I've mentioned na kanina, mga events. I also did yung customer service consultant side hustle this year, which paid good money. Also some talks this year na was also paid, and even a couple of coaching sessions for the year. And meron din tayong ginawang mga side projects like yung dalawang newsletters. Number 1 is yung Quarta Chronicles. And also yung pangalawa is yung Wealth That Lasts. So, of course, it's because meron na ngang AI. Nalaking tulong niya. And some of the collaborations we had, yung, alala niyo, yung website namin ni Mrs. Nagkaroon kami ng partnership with a mall dito for the first quarter of the year. And also, some important highlights din ng taon is being featured by Dubai Eye. Dubai Eye is one of the biggest radio stations dito sa Dubai. And naging regular na tayo doon sa segment na yon ni Helen Farmer, which is yung Afternoons with Helen Farmer. So, nakaka-apat na tayo this year, and thank God for that blessing. And also, nagkaroon tayo ng talk sa Abu Dhabi about AI, and a talk din, or being a guest panel sa Philippine Property Investment Expo earlier this year. And nagkaroon din tayo ng partnerships with other companies who are into financial wellness. So, malaking bagay yan for next year. Mamaya explain ko kung ano yung plans ko for the next year. And also, nagkaroon tayo ng Money Simplified na workshop. Ito yung ginagawa ko na signature workshop na sinimulan ko earlier this month. So, next year, meron ulit tayong batch 2 niyan, and I'm inviting you na mag-sign up. Kasi nga, I only want a few students there. Mga 5 students lang. Okay na yan. And then, some of the highlights in terms of family and personal time. Nagkaroon kami ng chance na makapag-visit ng 3 countries this year. Diyan in Georgia, Hong Kong, and of course, yung Philippines. Di ba? Sinama pa rin Philippines. Kasi nga, hindi naman kami dala sa Pinas eh. Pero it's a great time with the wife and the family din na makapag-spend and makapag-unwind. Kasi pala talagang travel, nakakatuwa. First time ko nag-experience ng snow, and nag-skiing kami, and I think nakapag-ski lang ako for like 5 seconds and ayoko na. Parang matatanggal yung tuhod ko. Hindi ko siya na-enjoy. And ayoko pala ng snow. So, sa mga lagi nanghihikayat sa akin na pumunta ng US, Canada, ayoko pumunta dyan, okay? Sorry, hindi ako mahilig sa snow. Hindi yun yung plans ko. And hindi yun yung part ng plans namin ni wife. And isa sa pinaka-important, I think ito na yung pinaka-important, hindi isa eh. Ito yung pinaka-mahalagang milestone namin ni Mrs. last year is we are expecting a baby by Feb of next year. Kaya sobra yung hassles namin this year. Yung mga bagay na hindi ko na-expect na magagawa ko pala. Pero since meron kaming malaking pangangailangan pagdating sa pagbibuild ng aming baby fund, Ang dami mga opportunities dumating. Alam mo yun, napansin ko lang na the more na nakafocus ka dun sa isang bagay, like, ang focus namin was i-build itong baby fund na to in 9 months. So we still have like 2 months. Eh, ang dami opportunities dumating kasi yung focus mo is nandun sa isang bagay na gusto mong ma-achieve. Parang iniisip namin, paano kaya natin to ma-reach? And never pa tayo nakapag-save ng ganitong amount sa ganitong span of time. And then magugulat ka na lang, malapit ka na. Kasi nga, yung focus mo is there. So, napansin nyo, no? Nag-align yung theme of the year ko doon sa nangyari this year. Kasi if not for that, then baka nahirapan kami kapag save up. Lalo ngayon, nagmahal pa ang rent ng UAE. So, medyo challenging din itong taon na to for us. And, yon. So, we are expecting a baby for next year. It's a baby boy. And inisipan namin ito ng name. And we're just praying na maging healthy siya. Okay, so tama na pag-iibang. Next na segment nitong podcast na to is about the lowlights. Of course, hindi naman puro highlights lang. Meron pa rin tayong mga hindi na-accomplish or I would say na areas for improvement this year. So, yung e-commerce namin na ginawa for I think last year, we decided na i-shut it down this month lang. Kasi nga, we cannot focus on it. And talagang hindi yun yung ano ko eh. Yung, wala doon yung interest ko sa beauty products. So, alam mo yun, kahit ang aim mo lang is kumita ng extra, pero hindi siya ganun ka interesting for me. Well, hindi ko siya nabigyan ng time. Kasi nga, mas gusto ko pa rin yung pag-focus ko sa financial literacy. Conduct ng talks, coaching sessions, and all those stuff. So, we decided to pull the plug and focus on other profitable na side hustles. So, yan yun. And it's a great realization. Ang dami ko natutunan in terms of e-commerce and paano mag-build ng website and mga different things that you can do using Shopify. So, yun yung ginamit namin platform for that. It's a great experience. And then, ang mga kailangan ko pang improve is yung I think puproduce ng content. Kasi, based on the things na tinrack ko for last year, kung nagkukonsume pa rin ng good amount of hours ang pagpuproduce ng isang podcast episode. Ewan ko, siguro dahil meron akong mindset dito na I always aim for perfection and inaalis ko yun sa akin eh. Na parang if it's not good enough, then hindi ko siya pwedeng i-post, hindi ko siya pwedeng i-share. And siguro I need to be more kind siguro sa sarili ko. And kahit sabihin mo na may systems in place na ako in producing content, pagka ginagawa ko kasing even yung pagsusulat, even yung pagda-draft and yung pagda-research for one episode, talagang kailangan ko pa rin siyang bigyan ng time and effort. Although I would say na ang podcast naman na to doesn't really bring so much of an income para i-sustain ang aming lifestyle. Pero it's something that fills my soul eh. Kaya hindi ko siya ma-let go. And at the same time, gusto ko pa rin mag-provide ng value. Yun naman mahalaga eh, yung value nitong podcast na to. So siguro I will try to trim yung mga pupuproduce ng episodes para mas dumami pa yung oras ko for other things na kailangan kong gawin. Ayan. And also some of the things na kailangan ko pa improve for next year is yung coaching. Kasi nga, merong mga nagpapa-coach, paid coaching to by the way. So, I decided na ang coaching ko will be paid moving forward. And there are people na nagre-reach out naman. Kaya lang when they know na it's paid, medyo doon na sila nag-back out. And although gusto ko talaga, for the longest time I've been doing things for free. Kaya lang nahirapan ako mag-charge. Pero I realized na kailangan ko talaga mag-charge kasi otherwise, walang mag-take action. And at the same time, masayang yung oras ko. Diba? So, it has to be a paid coaching session. So doon na yun na yung ano ko, ginawa kong parang panuntunan sa buhay. You have to pay for professional skills kung gusto mong improve ang iyong buhay. And that's the thing. So ako rin naman, I pay for other people's time if they ask it. Kasi nga, I value other people's time. Kasi nga, I also want to be valued. Diba? So parang ganun lang yung inaisip ko, right? And then, there were times na na-addict ako sa mobile games like yung COD, Call of Duty. I think meron akong 4 days na sobrang na, napa, ano ako, nalulung ako dun sa video game na yun. 4 days for this year, 4 days akong, like, and ginawa ko is uninstall ko na lang agad. So, nagkaroon ako ng mga ganyang moments. Although, alam nyo, Kairos yung team mo, right? Pero again, hindi tayo perfect. We're just humans. And we also fall for those kinds of things. Pero, yan, good thing, nakaget over ako doon and uninstall ko yung app. And then, there were times na hindi ko feel gumawa ng content. I feel na hindi siya worthwhile, pero I had to do it. Kasi nga, it's like a responsibility to others na kailangan kong gawin. I feel na kaya ko pa, I feel na I deserve more sa mga ginagawa ko right now with all the knowledge I know, with all the skills I've built, the connections I have. I still feel na kaya ko pa eh. Parang hindi ko pa rin na-maximize lahat ng potential ko. And inisip ko nga minsan, ano ba, naging entitled ba ako na ganito na yung way of, ganito na ako magsalita. Na I need to always be paid for my time. And part of me says na entitled ako, na part of me says na hindi, tama lang yan kasi you've already invested enough or so much time for other people for free. And ngayon na magiging parent na ako, sobrang concerned na ako na pag nagbigay pa rin ako ng free time for others, I feel na tinanakawan ko ng oras ang anak ko and ng misis ko. And yun yung current struggle ko na parang ayokong ma-feel na isa akong entitled person. Ayoko ring ma-feel na isa akong, or isipin ng ibang tao na ano yung term nila? Grifter ba yung tawag nila na yun? Yung parang tinatry niyang perahan yung mga lahat ng aspeto ng kanyang buhay. Diba? Parang yun yung aking, I think, limiting beliefs right now. Pero yeah, those are the things na I need to improve on next year. So those are some of my challenges. And ano pa ba? There were some other challenges in terms of finances. Not because na-scam na naman ako or what. But rather, in terms of mga avoidable pero mahirap talaga na avoidable pero uncontrollable, ang hirap explain. Kasi nga it's somewhat related to family things. So yan yung mga challenges this year, and let me see if I can explain it towards the end. So important lessons ko for this year, it's a mix of the things that I've read na ngayon ko lang din natutunan and in-apply ko along the way after reading the book, and also some realizations and lessons habang ini-experience ko ang bawat araw ng 2023. So hindi to random order na ito. So ang bago kong natutunan is yung importance ng deep breathing exercise and cold showers sa umaga. So dinagdag ko to sa routine ko for the last 4 or 5 weeks na, and tuloy-tuloy pa rin siya. And ang laking bagay niya, nakakapag-relax ako. I still get to focus sa araw ko dahil marami akong iniisip, and yung first 2 hours ko is very sacred sa akin. Doon ko pinagsiksikan yung aking morning routines. So dinagdag ko ang deep breathing and cold showers this year. In addition doon sa exercise, nagdagdag din pala ako ng yoga. Mas naging consistent ako sa yoga this year. And also yung pagbabasa. Lagi naman nandun yun sa aking morning routine. And also yung daily prayer and also yung gratitude, of course, sa umaga. Yun yung first 2 hours of the day. Although I can say na there are days na hindi ko siya nagagawa. Maybe maximum is 3 days for 1 week. Pero hindi yan na zero for for every week. So palagi yan nandyan. So yan yung isa mga important lessons and realizations. Sumunod is I spent and I will spend on things that will allow me to gain more time for creative thinking. So example nito is nung time na or pag merong task sa work ko na kailangan ko lang mag-deliver ng document, hindi na ako magdadrive. Ayoko na mag-drive, okay? Parang ikakarin ko na lang yan. Karin is like yung Uber dito para mag-send ng documents to other people. So, if hindi siya categorized as creative thinking, then magbabayad ako ng extra para ipa-deliver. Kasi isipin mo, magdadrive ko for 25 minutes. So, one way. So, that's 15 minutes already. Almost an hour na sana na-invest mo for other important tasks. So, I mean, ganun ako mag-isip. Grabe. Parang, pag ba nakapag na-free ko tong oras na to, magagamit ko ba to for a much better or for a much reasonable activity, kumbaga. So, yan, spend on things na will allow me to gain more time for creative thinking. Next na realization ko for the year is wealth is what you don't see. Although alam na naman natin to before, pero mas naging common siya for me this year kasi I had clients na hindi mo talaga kalain na sobrang yaman nila. The way they dress, the way they look, and malaman mo na lang by knowing their story. Kaya nag-decide ako this year na ang aking OOTD, outfit of the decade, is yung black shirt ko na kita nyo rin ngayon. And also the dark jeans and my pair of black shoes, black rubber shoes. Yun yung magiging outfit ko for the next decade. And bakit? Kasi ito yung damit pananamit ko becomes my filter para sa mga tao na binavalue ang relationships more than yung panlabas na pananamit or kaanyuan ng isang tao. Parang, although hindi ko naman nilalahat, no? Pero of course, ang nature ng tao is mag-judge based dun sa superficial na itsura niya. Ano yung panlabas, right? And I realized na if I get to meet people na willing to spend or invest their time with me, not because I have all the fancy things, but because of what I know, because of my skills, and because of the value that I can bring to them. Hindi dahil mukha akong quote-unquote mayaman, di ba? Hindi mo masasabi na mayaman na isang tao sa pananamit lang. And totoo yan. Next is yung freedom of time. Ito yung isang lesson na natutunan ko rin this year by reading itong book ni Dan Sullivan entitled Who Not How. Sabi doon, sa line na yun is, before you master any of the other freedoms, ang freedoms na binention niya sa book is time, money, relationships, and purpose. You need to master your time. So, freedom of time muna bago ka magkaroon ng money, freedom, and other freedoms na nabanggit niya. Nung inisip ko nung una, parang mali yata. Hindi ba dapat money muna bago ka magkaroon ng time freedom? And then I look back kung paano ako nagsimula dito sa Dubai. Yung work ko back then was 6 times a week. And then ang oras, ang shift is until sometimes 10 to 11 p.m. Depende kasi sa customer service eh. So, nung tinitingnan ko, sobrang limited lang ng oras ko dun sa una kong trabaho. And wala na akong time para sa ibang important things like personal development, attending seminars, and networking. And then, nung nagbago yung work ko, nagkaroon ako ng 2 days off, I maximized those 2 days off. And yung schedule is fixed. Uwian na namin ng alas 6. And I can do so many things beyond 7 p.m. And doon ko napansin na, nga, no, mas nauna pa rin talaga yung pagkakaroon ko ng more time bago yung more money. Kasi if you have more time, you can use that extra time to make more money. And after yung mga first na una kong trabaho dito, I became an insurance advisor, di ba? And doon, mas marami ng time freedom kasi hawak mo na yung oras mo. And from there, and doon na nagsimula lahat. Yung pagbabasa, mas dumami yung oras ko sa pagbabasa, dumami yung oras ko sa pag-network, dumami yung oras ko for building great relationships na I am enjoying right now. So, tama yung book na yun. Tama yung line na yun na bago mo i-master ang ilang important areas of your life, i-master mo muna ang sarili mo. I-master mo muna ang time mo, to be specific. Kaya if you are in a situation right now na nakikinig ka and you think na sobrang hirap ng schedule mo, then find ways on how you can make more time from your job. Siguro if you get promoted, then mas kukonti yung admin task mo and you get to spend more time on creative thinking. And probably you can look for a career na mas flexible sa oras so that you can make more time for other important things. Kaya lang, ang magiging challenge mo dyan, if first time mo magkaroon ng flexible na oras, is mahirapan kang ubusin yung oras na yan. Kaya habang nasa full-time job ka pa, aralin mo na yung mga important skills pagdating sa pag-manage ng sarili mo. Okay? Andyan yung self-management. Tapos, karoon yung mga project managements and then time managements, quote-unquote. And another lesson I learned this year is happiness is the gap between expectations and reality. Galing ito sa book ni Morgan Housel na Psychology of Money. Ngayong year ko lang siya nabasa actually. Pero grabe, ito na yung pinaka-paborito kong libro about personal finance. Kasi timeless yung lessons na to. And ang ibig lang sabihin nito is, kung kumikita ka ng 10,000 dirhams and ang expectations mo sa buhay beyond that, let's say 10,000 dirhams pa ulit, kunyari ginagastos mo dapat is around 20,000, then merong unhappiness gap doon. Nung narealize ko to, kasi nga ang mga tao, in-expect nila na they deserve something higher kasi they always compare their lives with others. So, napapansin nila na the more na lumalayo yung gap ng expectations mo sa current reality mo, let's say yung income level mo na lang, then it means na mas lalo kang nagiging malungkot. Pero kung they're at the same level, then most likely, you'll just be okay. And if ang expectations mo is below your reality, then definitely, doon mo feel na you already have enough. You have met your basic expectations of happiness. So, it's important for us na yung expectations natin should not rise beyond our income. And we need to make sure kung ano ba talaga yung definition natin ng success. Dinadagdag ko na to lagi ngayon sa mga talks ko and coaching sessions na dapat clear sa'yo kung ano yung definition mo ng success. Because otherwise, kung defined yan by other people, then mag-expand yan hanggang sa kahit gaano kalaki na yung kitain mo, magiging malungkot ka pa rin tao. So, that is why happiness is the gap between expectations and reality. Ganda yan. And then another lesson this year for me is, everything compounds. Yung small habits na binild mo nung bata ka, teenager, hanggang naging professional ka na, lumalaki yan. Yung bad spending and kunyari na, huwag na lang spending, sa health na lang, yung bad eating habits mo. Eventually, lalago, magkokos yan ng sakit mo, pagtanda mo, and magiging cost din yan ng downfall mo eh. Paano ko nasabi? Isa sa pinaka-challenges namin sa family is yung health ng father ko. Etong all throughout his life, meron kasi siyang diabetes and hypertension. And I'm not sure if alala mo yung story ko in 2015 when he had his second open heart surgery and we got in debt so bad for how many years? Like 4 years. And doon ko na-realize yung importance ng insurance and importance ng pag-aalaga ng katawan mo. And just recently, medyo naging mas malala na yung condition niya. And um, is all undergoing dialysis na. And just recently na-amputate yung kanyang left leg. Kasi nga, dun sa condition niya. And nakakalungkot lang kasi those things are, I would say, avoidable eh. And siguro, hindi ganun, wala silang access sa ganung information ng time nila. And ang past generations natin only relied dun sa mga taong nakapalibot sa kanila. Like dun sa grupo nila, sa culture ng community nila, expectations ng society sa kanila, and expectations nila about themselves. And if sakali lang na nakapag-build ng magandang spending and eating habits or healthy habits, then cases like that could have been avoided. And ang pinakamahirap, alam ko nahihirapan yung tatay ko right now, and he feels so helpless. Kaya lang, wala namang ibang pwedeng maging cause doon eh. Kundi yun, tayo lang din. And I just pray na he finds peace dun sa situation niya. So, as children, we do our best to help. And again, as a practitioner of someone who's promoting financial literacy, it's hard kasi nga, we don't want to overextend, right? So we only want to give the amount that we can. And kahit gustuhin namin i-insure siya, hindi na siya insurable. So it becomes a drag for us family. So ito yun, it's kind of lessons na mahirap experience. Sana hindi nyo ma-experience, guys. Kaya nga, habang nakikinig kayo nito, you're trying to build your habits, umpisa pa lang. Make sure na you're building good habits. Kasi eventually, babalikan tayo niyan eh. Babalikan tayo ng mga bad habits natin today. We can never get away with it. That's the law of nature. What you reap is what you sow. So. Ganun yun. And I think na-realize ko rin na as parents, dahil ako magiging tatay na ako in the next couple of months, ang pagpo-provide ng food, shelter, and education for our children is a basic expectation of parents. And hindi natin dapat obligahin ng ating mga anak or sumbatan na, oy, hindi dahil sa akin, wala ka dito sa mundong to. Kasi una sa lahat, hindi din naman nila ginusto na mabuhay sa mundo, right? And hindi din naman nila, wala rin naman silang choice para pumili ng magulang nila. And those three things that I mentioned, food, shelter, education, and siguro gusto ko rin idagdag is yung pag-hone ng talent ng mga anak natin. Those are our basic na responsibility. And I think ang isa sa pinakamagandang responsibility na kailangan nating iset for ourselves as parents is to not to be a financial burden sa ating mga anak when they grow old. Kasi these are things na preventable eh. Habang nandito tayo sa season natin na we can work, we have the energy, we have the youth, we have the time, let's not waste it. Kasi otherwise, mayroong mako-compromise in the future. Kung hindi ikaw, it's gonna be other people. And if yung mga habits mo na binild over time doesn't lead to a better future, then alam mo na mangyayari sa'yo. Diba? So, yun lang. Yun yung isa sa pinaka malaking lessons ko this year. Everything counts. Siguro gusto ko gumawa ng isang separate episode for this. Pero gusto ko na itong sabihin ngayon. Dahil ilang weeks ko na siyang nasa isip and I need to express it. Okay, the last lesson na nilista ko dito for this year is clarity is king. Bakit clarity is king? Kasi ang dami ko pa rin nakausap recently na successful sila I would say so successful sila in terms of how society defines success. Maganda trabaho, malaki kinikita, stable ang income, ganyan. Pero they're not happy. Kasi hindi sila clear kung ano ba talaga yung gusto nila sa buhay. And I was reading itong book na Shane Parrish about clear thinking. Na kung hindi mo kayang bigyan ng isang clear definition or category yung isang bagay na gusto mong ma-achieve, then it means na hindi clear sa'yo kung anong gusto mong mangyari sa buhay. And I'm blessed enough na naging clear sa akin 7 years ago kung ano yung gusto kong gawin sa buhay, which is to pursue and promote financial literacy for many people, Filipinos man yan or not. And to this day, I still yearn for financial literacy na mas marami mga Filipinos and other expats sa UAE ang maging aware of their finances and build their own parang financial plan and be more intentional with money. And because of that, kinlarify ko na yung mga bagay na gusto kong gawin next year. So the plans for next year and things that you can probably expect is, number one, I want to spend more time taking care of my baby or our baby, while also focusing on the coaching business, financial coaching, and the financial wellness programs for next year. So, yan yung lifestyle na gusto kong gawin. Kasi I know how important it is to spend time with your child. Lalo na ng mga younger years nila, yung first 7 years. And I know, alam ko mahirap siya. Ang daming nagsabi sa akin na sobrang mag-iiba na yung buhay ko the moment na lumabas na si baby. And I still want to challenge myself next year. And for next year, the theme na sinet ko is bolder. Hindi yung B-O-U-L-D-E-R. Bolder means yung something na mas malaki pa dun sa bagay na na-achieve ko this year. And kasama dyan yung lifestyle na gusto ko for my family. Like, we will be blessed by God. Sana nasa bahay lang kami and playing with the child while still earning. Diba? That is the dream. That is the lifestyle now we want. Kasi nga, it's clear for us na pag naging magulang na kami, kailangan namin bigyan ng time ang aming anak. And that is why next year, yun yung magiging focus ko. I'm targeting bolder goals for myself. And kasama na dyan yung most likely paggawa ko ng English version ng podcast na to. Kasi nga, I also want to tap the non-Filipino market na moving forward. Kasi sayang yung opportunity ng mga talks ko and exposure ko sa radio this year if hindi ko makater yung mga non-Filipinos. I need to get over that belief na pang Filipinos lang yung aking kayang i-cater. And because of that, then most definitely ang magiging content or baka ang fear ko talaga is bumaba ang quality ng podcast, ng Pera and Purpose podcast episodes next year. But please feel free to give me a feedback kung na-feel niyo na wala nang saysay yung mga pinagsasabi ko, like ganito itong podcast is almost an hour na. Pero please reach out to me kasi gusto ko pa rin magkaroon ng value ang ating bawat episode while at the same time producing less time sa paggawa or spending less time sa pag-produce ng bawat episode na to. Yon. So it's been a very therapeutic episode for me. Grabe. Dami kong na-unpack today. And thank you for listening. Ako kung may sense to sa'yo, but kung wala man, I'm sorry. And siguro to close this, I just want to share yung isa sa pinaka-important na Bible verse na nabasa ko. Probably relevant for what happened to me this year. It is itong Psalm 90 verse 12 na sabi doon, teach us to number our days that we may gain a heart of wisdom. So itong verse na to reminds us of the importance of using our time wisely and making the most of each moment. Ini-encourage tayo nito na maging intentional sa ating mga actions and prioritize what truly matters in life. So that wraps our episode for today. But before I let you go, I hope you can listen to the episodes of Pera and Purpose Podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and other podcast streaming platforms. And if you'd like to have a coaching session with KJ, message nyo ako sa LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, anything, email, andyan yun lahat sa description section ng ating episode. And also, I'm inviting you again sa workshop natin, Money Simplified Batch 2, happening sa January 6, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. UAE time. So, it's only limited to 5 students, and I hope I can see you there. Again, it's KJ, telling you to prosper with a purpose. See you sa next episode. See you next year. Bye-bye!